Chapter 1. Your father found an apartment, Keats Sedlak, my mom, tells me on the phone. Or rather, Jacob and I found one for him. Jacob Corwin is my father's assistant. He was a boyish undergraduate when he first took the position 7 years ago, and is now a significantly less boyish perpetual graduate student, with little hope of ever getting his degree, since his every waking moment is taken up with running my father's life. Supposedly my father is mentoring him, advising him on his PhD thesis. But all that mentoring is going to lead Jacob right to the unemployment line if Dad ever loses his budget for an assistant, or dies. It's in Harvard Square, Mom says. He can walk to work. I know what you're thinking, Keats, but trust me, it'll make his life easier. I wasn't thinking anything, I say. I'm just listening. He's moved in with a couple of suitcases, but there's tons more stuff to go through. Jacob and I are going to pack it all up this weekend, and I need your help. Milton's home. He can help. Milton's always home, and he never helps, as you well know. Saturday at 10 would be perfect. We already have plans for Saturday. Tom and I are going to... You can bring Tom if you want. I need someone to carry boxes. But... See you at 10 on Saturday. She hangs up. I say out loud, resistance is futile. Huh? Tom looks up from the sofa, pausing what he was watching on TV. Who was that? My mother. What does she want? My father just moved out, and she wants us to come help pack up his stuff. Wait, he says, and turns the TV completely off. Your father moved out? Out of the house? Apparently. I come over and sit down next to him on the oatmeal-colored sectional we picked out together at Pottery Barn 3 years ago. I curl up against him, and his arm goes around my shoulder and pulls me snugly against his chest. I thought they'd always be together, Tom says, resting his cheek on the top of my head. I mean, I know they lived in separate parts of the house, but they still seemed as much of a couple as my parents, or anyone else. Tom's parents had a 35th wedding anniversary a few months ago. His mother wore pearls, and his father called her my salvation, my inspiration, my love. My parents are not a couple like his parents are a couple, but I know what he means. It felt like somehow they'd stick it out together. Until today. He peers down at me. You okay? Yeah. I tilt my head back to look at Tom, who's steady and calm and reliable and loving, and everything my father isn't. And then I look around the living room of our Waltham apartment, which is clean and neat and bright and new, and everything the house I grew up in wasn't. When Tom and I first picked this place out, it was his purchase, but we both knew I'd basically be living here too. The 2-bedroom apartment in the just-built high-rise felt almost too antiseptic. But now the house I grew up in, 20 minutes from here, in Newton, feels old and grungy by comparison. And when we leave there and drive the short distance between the two places and pull into our space in the enormous garage below our 15-story building, that's when I feel like I've come home. They can do what they want, I say. I don't care. I'm an adult now. My life is separate from theirs. I thought we were going to the beach on Saturday. We could go on Sunday. I said I'd watch the game with Lou. Tom's friends all have names like Lou and Bill and Jim. I love that about him. His last name is Wells. Tom Wells. How great is that? Of course, when you grow up saddled with a name like Keats Sedlak, you admire any name you don't have to explain or spell. But if you want, I could cancel. No, don't. I feel his chest move with a